Hello everyone, this is Daily Developing here, and today we're going to be solving a problem that was asked by Twitter on one of their interviews. A strobogrammatic number, I'm sorry if I pronounced it wrong, is a positive number that appears the same after being rotated 180 degrees. And for example, 16,891 is a strobogrammatic number. And what we have to do is we have to create a program that finds all strobogrammatic numbers with n digits. So if you're a little bit confused on what these numbers really are, just take a piece of paper, write down 16,891, right? Write it down. Now rotate this paper 180 degrees, and you will see that 16,891, even after being rotated, looks like 16,891. Nothing has changed. So now we have to write a program that finds where you can just give it a number and it's going to tell you whether or not it is a strobogrammatic number. So let's create a function, right, that takes number as a parameter. Now let's pass this for now and print 16,981. All right, so how should we start? Let's create a copy of this number. So I'm going to be creating a copy of original number. So when I do some calculations, when I'm just going to divide it and subtract it, whatever, we're still always going to have the original number. Okay, so we created the copy. Now what I want to do is let's also create a rotated number. Let's start it with 0. So we want to take this number, rotate it, and it's going to be saved here. So what I want to create is while copy of original number is more than 0, I want this loop to keep going. And so what I want to do first is I want to get the last digit. So last digit equals copy of original number, and then take the module of by 10, right? So in other words, if we, let's say, take this number, right, divided by 10, what's left over is 1. Okay, and that would be the last digit. Now we have to rotate this somehow. And how should we rotate it? Let's just write down all the possible numbers. Okay, so these are all the possible numbers. And let's just see. So for example, if we rotate 0, it's still going to be 0. If we rotate 1, we're still going to get 1. 2 cannot be really rotated. Neither can 3. 5, no, 5 cannot be rotated. If we rotate 6, that would give us 9. And we can rotate 8, it will still be 8. And if we rotate 9, it'll give us 6. So we have something like this, right? Now, what I would like to create is I would like to create a dictionary that has all these numbers. So let's create a dictionary called rotate. So I created a dictionary that has pretty much all the numbers that can be rotated filled out in there. So now what I want to do is I want to first check if last digit is not in rotate keys, right? So if it's not one of these keys, then that means it cannot be rotated, right? So if, for example, it's number 2 is not really in this dictionary, so for that reason it can't be rotated, right? So return false. The only number that can be strobogrammatic are the ones that only use 0s, 1s, 6s, 8s, and 9s. That's it. Any other number would not work. Pretty much this is what I'm doing here. All right, now let's continue. So now what I want to make is, okay, I want to insert that last digit into the rotated number. So how would I do this? I would make a rotated number. I'm going to multiply this by 10. And then in a rotated number, I'm going to add the last digit. So what will happen? Let's just write down in this comments. All right, so we have 16, like this number, right? Okay, so the last digit is 1. First thing, okay, rotate number is 0. 0 times 10 is still 0 plus 1. Okay, so it'll equal to 1. Next time, what's going to happen? Okay, Next time the last digit becomes 9. So what we do is we multiply this by 10. So we make it 10. And then we add 9. So we make it equal to 19. And to add another number, to add 8, we're going to, again, multiply this by 10, making it 190, and then add the 8. Does that make sense? So we want to add that last digit here. So what we do is we just shift the rotated number to the left and add it to the right. And actually, we don't add the last digit. We add we added the rotate, right? Last digit. Sorry. So we have to rotate the last digit and add it to the last number. And what this does is it reverses the order, right? Because, for example, if last number is 1, in this case, in this code, it's going to be the first number. And then 9 would be the second number, and so on. And then we can get rid of the pass. Okay, now what we do is, what we do is copy original number and divide it by 10. And by the way, we want to use 2 slashes here because we want the copy of original number to be an integer and not a double, right? So for example, if we do this, then for example, a 16,891 will become 1,689.1, and we don't want that 0.1. We want to just get rid of that 0.1, so double slash. It'll make this number an integer. Okay, so now we keep dividing it by 10 until we've filled out the rotated number completely. Now the rotated number is filled out, what we have to do is if rotated number equals the number, right? So the original number, then return true. Otherwise, return false. So now let's try to run this. So it returned false because there was a typo here, right? So it's not, I accidentally put 16,981 when it should be this one, right? So yeah, the 8 has to be in the middle. So let's run it again. All right, and now it returned true. So now it all makes sense. Now let's put a number that's actually not strographic. True, false, 8. Also true. So if you enjoyed this video, please put a thumbs up. It'll help me a lot and it'll only take you a few seconds. Thank you.